Nope, that is the wrong button. We are not brought to you by Potteration. That's why it's a nerdy. I apologize. One day we might be brought to you by Potteration, but not today.
That was awesome, Charles.
Are you tired of being awesome alone? Well, so are we. So let's go be eventful together. I believe this is one of those episodes where I'm here so I don't violate my contract. Yeah, I don't know. No, okay.
Well, that makes me feel good, everybody. Let's get this party started.
Yeah, well, you got the truth of it all before the show. It's not been the greatest of days, and I actually did put out a video about it together a little bit, but not together. Sorry. Devo said together, and it popped around in my head. But I will say this. Let me jump to my goodness on my shelf is slightly different setup in the studio because I picked up a free coffee table that I need to clean up. It's a little too big for my space, but it actually lets me sit more naturally and I can put more stuff on if it's needed. And then it'll allow me to record two people on the couch if necessary. No jokes, Devo. No jokes. But then the second thing is really the other night, I can't remember Saturday or Sunday, whatever. Aaron and I got a wild hair. So, hey, we haven't played like Plants vs. Zombies in forever. And I have a copy of it from the 360 days on my Xbox library. And so we downloaded it and she made some snarky comments real fast. Oh, stop it, Devo. I mean, yes, Devo. Yes. Tyra, I got your newsletter. Now, I do believe that part of that is intentionally congratulations to Tyra.
Yes.
And the guilt in me kicks in and he's also going, hey, Charles, where's yours? Because I didn't send one out. Because I've been pissy all week.
Hi, Earth Station Boo, who's wrapping up a DC meeting. We love you.
Yes. And she's part of the happiness. So
what did she do?
Aaron and I downloaded the Plants vs. Zombies. And it was one of those things where the sun was right, so we had the doors open and projector on the wall. And she made some comments like, hey, something funny. I'm like, hey, you know what? I've got some energy. Let's throw up a TikTok live, and I'll put the game, pointing the camera towards the game, even though we can point it towards ourselves as well. And we had the wireless mics on, so it got crystal clear audio.
Nice.
And let's just let it hang and see if people show up, and we'll talk to them either way. And she went into show mode, and she always Tyra. She says this about me. It's like, oh, you change around people. You change around. And I say, no, I don't. She, oh, you start trying harder to make them laugh. I'm like, it depends on the situation, but I don't just automatically change because some new person's around or because Phil's here. Okay. Phil brings out the worst in me. We all know.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we know.
So,
we know.
But she says that to me all the time. Then the second we were TikTok live, she thought she was Nate Jackson doing audience work. And I was the audience of one because she's giving me so much grief and verbally punching me on things. And we're doing our thing. And Earth Station Boo showed up and chatted on the live and connected. And that was so much fun and awesome. Then another awesome connection. And I think we kind of should call them connections instead of fans. I mean, there's definitely fans out there and they just love what you do. And that's great. But then there's some connections where people are like Earth Station Boo are a little bit more involved. You'll hear their name on the show a little bit more and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so another connection is Gunnel. She's gone by a couple of different names. I cannot remember anything else. So she's using that as her online tag right now, but she's a connection with Wise and Nerdy and talks to us there. And she also showed up. And then TikTok went, oh, we just kicked you off because lack of activity. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? There's nothing for me to active on the TikTok. I'm talking. We're putting it out there. I can't type chat back. That's not how it works on TikTok Live. What do you mean I'm not active? So, yeah.
Well, I don't understand because I don't go live on TikTok. But,
No, it was, and then it just took the wind out of the sails. I put up a TikTok right after that. And before it would get you know on any TikTok live. Oh, okay, you haven't done it, but I can imagine.
I've been to a couple.
Any live out there.
Right.
If it's on an app that you can scroll and it comes up, then somebody watched and then they didn't. We were getting a lot of that in the first, and then we actually got one. I call her ladies with the little icon looked like. Yeah, I have no
Never
idea.
know.
You never know. But one person kept reappearing, as joined. I'm like, okay, maybe they came back. Maybe they kind of. I thought the retro game would be fun. Did us talk would be fun, and so we had some motion, right?
Good.
And then when it cut off and I started again, just
motion.
crickets. Just a lot of join
Dang it.
died. Joined. Nobody stuck around. It's like, I'm just gonna stop now.
Mm.
Meh.
But did you two still have fun after that? Or were you?
Yeah, no. I mean, my spirits came down a little bit because that doesn't take much nowadays to do. Because it's like, oh, you're shutting it down. I was like, yeah. And we played that a little bit more, and then she wanted to swap over to Mario Kart. Actually, she wanted to play Tears in the Kingdom, but I can't find that stupid little cart, which is exactly why I say, don't, for me in my house, don't buy physical media because we can never effing find it. Because
Yeah.
some kid, and it's
Or dog choose it.
Or
Not
a
that
dog
I
choose
know.
it, right?
Not that I know
Uh,
anything about this.
yeah. I know in this case there was ebbs and flows, right? But the kids also want to play different games on the Switch, and we love it. That's
Yeah.
what it's there for. They don't always put the game back into a case or something else. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's say
you
hello
can't
to some
trust
people.
them.
We got
Yes.
Devo's here tonight. We got our station Boo's here tonight. Kaz is in the background tonight. She's making
Love
notes
all
for
of you.
Kaz is making all the notes for crisis counseling after the show for us. And El Ventor
I
says
know.
something in South American. South African.
Swoosh.
Dang it.
I don't know. Salutations. There we
Yeah.
go. By the way,
Solutions.
Venter, I talked about you in a Seattle book club that I went to the other day. She'll understand. That's all,
A Seal
professory.
Book Club?
CETA, Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning.
CETA Book Club. Okay.
CETA. So, yeah, some of her colleagues were there. So she got mentioned as a commonality. Try to connect with people.
That's very cool. Book club that I'm willing to join. I saw this on TikTok. It's like, we just started a book club. Our first book of this week is this Mexican menu. And they're sipping margaritas and ordering tacos. I'm like, yeah. So, all right. That was my happiness because there's a whole lot of unhappiness that someone may come out to now. But, yeah. Anyway, what's your shelf watch? T-Ray?
Hold just a second. Still there.
Still there?
So, I have faith. Maybe it ain't happening anytime soon. I already know that.
Well, we've already heard one thing about choring around.
We've been
a
touring
couple weeks
around,
ago.
and now we're going to be traveling around.
You leave
So-
tomorrow?
No, we're not going to talk about when I leave because this is
Okay.
Yeah. But we are leaving at some point in the future, and not tomorrow, by the way. I've got meetings and class still to go to this week. But we are taking a little trip across the pond, and we're very excited. Yes. And hi, Daubert. Go lay down for me, boo boo. And I just know that with all the traveling and stuff, we're not going to get stuff done. So I'd like to apologize for these sides that have the stuff that I haven't been able to deal with yet because
I still haven't sent you the recommendation for this chair that I have.
oh yes, that's right. Don't forget everybody.
I'll
I'm
look it up
still
in a
looking
second.
for chair recommendations because I am currently sitting on a pillow because the seat in this thing not comfy. So yeah. So we're getting there. I mean, I'm back in my office. So step 1. Step 2 is that I've gone through almost everything on this side of the office that you can't see. And step 3 is that has stuff that has to go other places. So we're getting there one day. And then I'm going to do a whole video with it once I figure out how to use my gimbal.
Okay. Second happy note. Another happy note.
Oh, good. I like
I
a little
bought the
happy
same,
notes.
basically the same gimbal you have, for less, which is always fun. Okay. Real side note. Devo, I could have sworn I saw a speak pipe notification pop up that you had left one. I would assume because it's not on the Wise and Nerdy one, that would be on the Be Awesome Together one. But if you could type and tell me if you did or did not leave one and which one you left it at, that'd be awesome.
Why, yes, I did. he says.
Crap. And I say crap because I have to figure out the login for our Be Awesome Together one because it's not saved on my phone.
Uh-oh. Okay.
But I'll get it while you talk.
I have faith. So I just want to say is, hey, Venter, are you talking about a secret lab chairs? Because I am taking chair recommendations because this is not comfortable. This was my husband's. He's 6'4". I'm 5'4". My feet don't touch the ground. And yeah, there's nothing left in this seat. Like, I'm a big girl.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just trying. So if anybody has chair recommendations, I'm looking for them. And I'm going to just talk to you a bit more about my shelf watch. By the way, there's stuff going on in the world, and I'm traveling. Not happy. We also have a good friend in Cyprus. Slightly scary. So please just, I hope my thoughts and prayers are going that everybody stays safe. And that everybody let's just deep breaths. That's what we're taking here. So besides that, reworking a social media class this week, teaching some kids, watching presentations. I am so sad that Charles hasn't been able to see the presentations because they've actually been really good for this part of the semester.
Good.
And we're welcoming Air Station Boo back. By the way, don't forget to check out Earth Station Boo, and plus she has her own channel on Discord, and we'd be happy to push that. By the way, I just found out that those, secret lab chairs are a bit pricey. So that probably will mean it has to wait. So it just means send me pillows to sit on. People. Send me pillows because I'm going to need them. And everybody, okay, I'm not looking there. I got too many texts coming through. I just can't figure this out.
I want to say real quick, Boo, you may have been on your meeting when I said it, but I'm very grateful that you touched base during the live. That was a lot of fun.
He talked about you while you weren't here.
Yeah.
Because he got frustrated. So I don't know how many of you are having frustrations, but I don't know. March seems to be coming in with some frustrations, but we're going to breathe through them and try to remember. I got a letter from the IRS because I filed the wrong form. Good time. So I get to call them tomorrow and tell them I'm stupid.
Don't say that.
Oh, no.
I am not a trained professional, asshat, and y'all change the rules all the damn time. I say you filed the wrong form, Uncle Sam. You did it.
No, we are always nice to the IRS people. Always. Completely. By the way, I've only had good experiences with the IRS, which I know may not be the standard, but I have determined that when dealing with them, if you're nice, it will get you a lot further and more help every single time. So think of me tomorrow because I'll be talking to them. Yes, sir. Did you find it yet?
Oh yeah, I found the audio and I found the chair. What do you consider pricey for a chair?
I don't know. I don't want to. I mean,
so what I'm sending you is it's definitely not a easy just don't think about it twice kind of chair.
Well,
but it is good enough that I bought them for when I had multiple offices at work. I bought them for each office I was in. Well, the company did. And then when I came home, I, out of my own pocket, bought one for my own studio.
I mean, I am, it's not, I know it's an investment. How's that?
Yeah.
So what price point are we talking about?
Under $200.
Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely doable. Secret Labs, I believe, are over $200. By a long ways. So that would be a save up and get it kind of thing. And then my husband would be jealous and he'd probably steal it.
One of the first ones I bought was pricey, but the company, they just hired me and they were like, okay, whatever you want. You got to use it all the time. it was a Serta, and I got it from Staples, and it was like $400. But it was at the time, it's the best I could find. But now, Amazon I texted it to you. Amazon absolutely has chairs that I like. And you know what, everybody? I will try to remember on Saturday to put the link in the show notes, so if you click it, you actually can support the show, because I still have a long-running Amazon Associates link that I use.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm going to have to spend several $100s to get one that will accommodate the Tyra.
And so what I believe it'll do, it accommodates both of us. So I have height and weight issues for chairs. Uh, and so when I have it all the way up, it's perfect for me. But that's at max height. It goes low enough to make my knees go, oh my God, what are you doing to me? Which would be a great height for you, I do believe.
Probably. Though I do have a little platform underneath my desk where I prop my feet up to kind of elevate them a little bit. Plus, okay, I know this is strange, but at 57, I am discovering compression socks.
Yeah, Erin's been wearing those. They're so sexy, let me tell you.
These are actually super cute. Let me tell you, mine are super cute. But we wanted them for the plane ride.
Yeah, no, I know, and they're very, very helpful. Joe has them. My wife, I forget why she's trying to talk me into. So I was like, I don't think I'm there yet. As far as my knees though, what I found is I might have to spend $200 on a chair for my house because it is the best ergonomic thing that I've found for my body. And over time, I've been paying attention that night, man, when I stand up, or most chairs when I stand up, I got to take a second because my back's got to straighten out and unstiffen. My knees really go, hold on a second. But after a good night's sleep in the morning, I get up, none of that. None of that. So it's like, okay, it must be the ergonomics of the standard stuff I'm sitting in.
It's important. Ergonomics are important.
It is. And you saw the private message from Cause about chairs, so that's always good too.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to hear about Devo and his slightly risque messages?
I'm ready. I am.
Right.
Let's bring it on, Charles.
It should be all connected. Let's go see.
Okay, here we go.
Well, there's nothing I can probably do to top last week's, but I will say I'm very disappointed in you, Charles, letting your phone go to sleep. This is the second speak pipe you've done this. So 2 strikes. All right. I'm warning you right now.
I'm molesting it for you.
Wag your finger at him.
I'm wagging the finger.
But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys are having your nice warm weather. It was like in the teens yesterday. Today it's warm. But you know, that's how it is here in Missouri. And as they say in Missouri, chilly today,
nope.
hot tomorrow.
No.
Golf clap.
I'm not using this feature. I want to see what this does.
Uh-oh.
Allow.
Charles is doing
okay.
things.
Apparently, I can record an answer back, and I guess it's going to email him that record an answer back. So even though you're sitting here live, Devo, you have your own collectible voice message from the one and only Charles McFall. And I think, Tyra, see if it comes through on the phone.
Hi. This is Tyra. I'm the nice one.
It came through on the phone. So there, sir, you've earned yourself a less than 30-second response.
Because we're cheap and ours is free.
All right. Boom. And I can hit send. And I don't know. Diva, let me know. Let me
Devo?
know if it lets you know that there was an audio response back through SpeakPipe, because that's cool.
We have no idea what we're doing here.
Let's see.
What
Let's see.
was that?
That was, I need to turn it as a notification. Probably an email saying that I sent a SpeakPipe or whatever. No, it says McFall replied to your voice message, so we got a notification that it came up. Whatever, man. And there was one other thing. Oh, the gimbal. Okay.
Oh,
so,
yes, we both got gimbals.
And I have some time Thursday for sure. Whatever. We can talk a little bit tonight right after this, because it's fairly straightforward.
Okay.
And basically just playing with it is your best bet. And when I say dumb, I mean like throwaway videos, like you're just doing it to practice videos.
Yeah.
Do your practice videos like going through the airport, not security where they're going to match you, but, play with it while you're having some downtime getting ready or on your flight going, that kind of thing. Get used to, the biggest thing is there's a little like a reverse arrow, circle arrows on it. That one, you need to remember if you hit it, it's either 2 or 3 times, then it'll go from upright to sideways. Because if you hit it once, it just kind of flips it around for you. So yeah, but the software really does work well with the cameras in your phone, and it captures great video.
Awesome.
The wireless has been flawless since I got past that stereo mode on the newer.
Right.
We used that the other day to record. I did a whole thing. I didn't do motion or anything. Mm-hmm.
You used it up in Chattanooga.
Yeah, I did an hour, almost 2 hours of video with the roaster, so that's going to be a huge editing project.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
There's going to be a lot to cut. There's going to be a long form video, but even in that, there's a lot to cut out to get to an entertaining video, and then there's going to be a lot of clips. Used it for Fandom Face Off,
Nice.
and it didn't do the face tracking for some reason, because what I wanted for Fandom Face Off was set it a little bit closer. So as I moved, it moved with me to get the action of the game.
Right.
I was running out of time to set it up, and when it didn't do it, I just set it back further. But it still got me. It got the stage. It got everything. It got the clear audio. I don't know if I can use it because nothing else worked right that day. But and then I used it just as a little table stand, and angled it and recorded a little thing with Ryland the other day at the coffee shop. We had the mics on.
Aww.
And it's great. And we had natural sunlight come through the window. So it was like this very professional looking video.
Looking
and
good.
It was fun. So yeah, just play with it, and you're don't hit yourself in the face with it, because that could hurt.
It's going to happen. So I've got to decide if I'm taking it. I also have a Canon Pro Shot that I have that I'm thinking of taking with us. I don't know. I got to make some decisions on tech because I only have so much room.
So that sounds like we're ready to transition into being eventful and what that means. Although our lives are full of events, as you can tell for the first 20 minutes of the show.
Charles, are you eventful? Do you feel eventful?
I do not at all feel eventful.
Do you feel lackluster?
I feel like I am one stormy day away from depression sleeping for 3 days. That's how I feel.
I get that.
But I did do a con here recently, and I told you about that in detail.
And an anniversary trip with your wife.
Yes. Anniversary trip, great.
Yay.
Con, not so much.
Boo.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about that.
And I'm not either. And even it bothers me even when they're good cons. And I would consider, I wish they would change the name to FanX Atlanta and go that route, but they have FanX owns it, but it's Atlanta Comic Convention, which won't, for anybody who's hearing this for the 2026 season, they won't be here this year because FIFA is taking up a lot of space in Atlanta, and a lot of things are getting bumped around, and it's fine. It's going to help the Atlanta. And, we got to let the sports nerds have their thing too sometimes. We can't have all the comic book nerd stuff and not let them have theirs. But overall, I think it's a good con. I think it's run well. I think it's managed well. They know who they are. They're a corporate con that also wants to do panels and connect with the fans. And even then, in the past, this last one I went to last year restructured way better. But in the past, they would have big auditoriums with concrete. It's concrete, and all these civic centers are concrete, right?
Oh my gosh,
convention centers, all that. But you could fit 1,000 people, and maybe 100 is going to show up for that.
Right.
Maybe a couple hundred, but it still feels empty. And I hate that. I hate that feeling for anybody doing anything.
No, it's true. There's nothing worse. Like you feel like half. Maybe you've got a tenth of the people at your panel, but you'd never know it because the room's so big.
Yeah, and and Chattanooga suffered from that kind of setup majorly. But it would help if I had the notes up, but I don't, Tyra. So where do we want to go to start off with?
I actually have the notes up. I know, shocking happens. So in terms of events, I mean, obviously you're the director of the digital media track at DragonCon, and we don't know what it is, but Poobah director above several tracks, the overseer.
I'm the fix-it guy.
The fix-it guy. I'm going to call you overseer because it just sounds worse.
I like overlord.
Overlord. Okay. I'm willing to say overlord. And we've put on Pod Jam together.
Yes.
And I've done 2 multiple day writing conventions. So both of us have experiences doing events. So when you're in charge of an event or a track, what do you think are some of the most important things that you should be doing? So if you're thinking about doing an event, here's your moment.
And we did structure it before jumping there. We're going to talk from the top down, planning it, running it, those kind of things, but also what good moderators look like, what good panelists look like, and how to participate in the event from all sides. I'm going to say from the top down, communication
Mm-hmm.
is the number one thing, and it's like picking up glitter out of a carpet. The more you communicate, the more you clean that glitter, the more you're going to find that you need to communicate and clean up more glitter.
It's true.
I hate glitter. This is not a let's mess with Charles thing. This is I will throat punch you. I hate glitter. Just let you know. That's why I use it. But it's the more you clean up, the more it spreads, the more I've found that I've communicated, the more I've had to have a team that also helps with follow-up communication. And then we even rely on friends at the track like Bobby Blackwolf and Rob Robertson and other people to help communicate. And then that's where you build the community. I love our Discord right now so much. I'm missing some joke there.
You are. It's pretty good.
Yes, our Station Boo, we are on the same page. Same page.
Let's just say glitter is a disease of craft supplies.
Yes. But I found the more I communicate and the more I try to communicate, the more I need people to help me communicate. And that's the key.
It's true. I think communication is your first thing, and I think the second thing is actually planning. Like have a plan. Oh my gosh. I have been to events where I have just wanted to strangle somebody. Like it is not that hard to have a plan. Like can we have one, please? Please. And I want to know, like, if you plan and you like break things up into segments and get people in charge of those segments, and everybody knows what's happening because you're communicating, it's so much better. So like when I was running ours, we had a book fair, we had a single day workshop, multi-day workshops, a trip to a fire station. That was really nice, by the way. And we had different people in charge of all of that. So like for the workshops, we had to have somebody who put together the AV, somebody in charge of making sure the guests got there. Any type of materials, somebody was in charge of that. Who's doing the program book? That's somebody else.
Yes. So project management is what you're talking about.
I am.
DragonCon started planning October 1st.
Oh, yeah.
For this year. Now, that's the top level. Directors did their own thing, right? We've all been planning our things, but the first meeting for directors wasn't until January. The meeting for whatever I am plus the seniors, because I'm not a senior director. That's a whole different ballgame.
That's a different ballgame.
The seniors have already started having their meetings. And then the parts that I'm a part of, we'll start our meetings in April. And then, framework, plans, goals, communicate those things.
Oh my gosh.
And then start project management is, and I'm sure you'll say it better, Tyra, is
maybe
saying who's going to handle this thing and by what date, and then holding people accountable. That's difficult. You and I ran into some issues with that with Pod Jam.
Oh yeah, for sure. We did. And that's okay. We made it work somehow, and that's what good people do. But like, you want to know, what is your programming? How are we disseminating that programming? I hear myself in echo, Charles. How are we disseminating that program? It's gone. We're good.
Okay.
Out to people. And if we're choosing to use, because like with one of my writers conferences, we adopted. I can't do words tonight, and I am sorry, but we adopted a program, and I can't remember the name of it. Whova, WHOVA, and I think they're out of business now. And to do our program on, so that people could go and have it on their phones and look at it easily. Please make sure that works. Make sure people can actually get it and download it, and have another way for people to use it, because not everybody has a phone that can hold. Some people have phones with very little memory. Make sure that they can access it online at a website where it's just like a spreadsheet, and in that app.
Yes, that is one of my complaints. I don't have many, and for the longest time, I didn't want to be the guy that complained about things, because there's too much clickbait in the world, negativity sells, all that jazz.
Right.
Secondly, just somewhere in my mind, it got, like, when I say ingrained, I mean some little monster crawled up and branded it onto a small part of my brain that don't burn a bridge, because you never know what might happen.
No,
and so I held in upsetness and feedback that could have actually helped people, and I held on to it and it drug me down. I tried things that I shouldn't have instead of just going, no, that was a bad experience. I'm not doing it again. And I'm not here to, as the English say, slag anybody off or drag them to the mud, but bad is bad. And it does irritate me if I have to come as a presenter, as a participant in your programming. I should never have to come after you for my schedule and find out what
No.
that is.
Like
You know,
that's
I need that ahead of time so I can plan my weekend.
well, not only that. I mean, you should get it ahead of time. I think that Multiverse and both Conjuration and Stellar Fest are pretty good at that, but Multiverse is really good at it. And so is Dragon Con. They send it to
Yeah.
you beforehand. You know what you're doing. You can say, hey, I've got a conflict or whatever you need to do. And you know beforehand. If not, at least when you arrive, here's your schedule.
Yeah.
You know, make
Well,
sure people
okay.
know.
That would, I've never had that.
Oh,
Like I've never had to arrive and get my schedule. That would stress me out a little bit.
yeah.
I could do it because I'm the king of chaos, but it's still
Right.
like,
We like to know. I like
I
to
don't
know
like that
ahead
kind
of
of
time
change.
too.
Yeah.
But I also don't mind if they hand me a paper copy or say, hey, it's over here when I get there. I actually like
Sure.
it. Multiverse gives you the option to have a printed schedule. Dragon Con gives me a printed schedule.
Yeah, as a attending pro or whatever, you get it on the back of your badge. Yep.
Yeah, that you can't read if you're over 12. Unless you
Fair.
hold it like
Well, okay, Tyra.
yes. sir.
Normal participants can because there's only like 3 or 4. You have like 12, so the print gets really small to fit on the back of your badge.
It's so flippin' small. And I'm like,
It is. Hers is really small.
I'm like, I can't read this. So I take
Yeah.
a picture and blow it up because
Yeah.
anybody who has that kind of eyesight knows what you have to do.
But yeah, so there's that. I do love what Conjuration Stellar Fest does as a con to those who are accepted to participate.
Mm-hmm.
They triple check just like every good con does. They triple check, hey, make sure the spelling's right, make sure you're right.
Yes.
And then they actually send, and again, once you get to a certain size, you can't do this. Like DragCon can't send an entire schedule of everything out there. That's why we have directors. It's a whole different process on the
Right.
level that DragCon plays on. And nothing against Conjuration. They're becoming my very favorite small cons to go to is Conjuration Stellar Fest combo.
Us too.
And he sends out a sheet with all the panels. It says, these are the ones that are full. These are the ones that need people.
Mhm.
What do you want to do? And there's been once or twice like, oh, I want that one, but I waited a little bit for hit send and it filled up right before I hit send. But that's a
That's
co-creator
great.
mentality, and it makes those panels amazing. And I get like Atlanta Comic Con, they don't have the standard of you have to do so many panels to get a badge.
Right.
You do one panel for them, you get a badge for the weekend.
That's
They-
awesome.
Yeah. Because, and I think part of it is because you're there helping with all of that, but ultimately their money is coming from the celebrity autographs and
Yeah.
the vendors and all that other stuff.
And they know if you're
yeah.
there, you're gonna do something.
Yeah. And you're more likely going to spend some money. And so,
Yeah.
and I tend to do a number of things with them. But yeah, but I get it. I get it. Like Atlanta Comic Con couldn't send out all the panels. 'Cause most of them are celebrity panels, to be honest. Most of them are celebrity interview panels. And then there's some other stuff mixed in, like Wise and Nerdy
Right.
got a show there. Fandom Face Off
cool.
got a show there last year. So it's a nice mix. So the audience, I mean, if you're just hunting down Katie Sackhoff, right, that's all you're going to go for. But if you're going, oh, there's some cool stuff going on, it
Some
really
other
does.
stuff.
But they don't need you to worry about, well, is Crispy doing a panel that I can be on? Is Tyra doing a panel? They just like, hey, you got your one thing. Here's your badge. We're good.
Which is awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, that makes it super easy.
it does. And
And they know their level of what they can handle. You know what I mean? Like they don't need to be trying to coordinate all that.
it
That-
comes down to what I'm not saying give me a pass for my wife, although many cons do if I ask.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for panelists, you know what Dragon Con says is the easiest thing for them to do ever?
What?
Give away badges.
Oh yeah.
And because I many years ago, I went to Rachel and it's like, hey, I got this thing. I got this guy I want to come in. He's not really attending pro. Like, not a problem. Oh, when we did the party, a better example. When did the party for the drag party?
Oh, right.
Dragon.
Oh,
Wednesdays
yeah,
are
yeah.
a Dragon Con party, or whatever. we were able to get some one-off badges for people. The comedy show, we got one-off badges for people.
Right.
And in fact, they even gave us passes to give away for people at that party. Like, because it's like, yeah. And that's the thing. Most good cons, when I say good, like they're not just starting off, but they're not Dragon Con. But even Dragon Con, if you get an early bird, it's $80. That's
It's
insane.
still cheap.
It's insane. But most good cons are about $60 to $80. What do you think you're losing by not giving me and Tyra a badge for us doing a panel? You only accepted one. We'd have done 5. We sent you a bunch. You picked one. This is a made up scenario, but it's a conglomeration of real things I've experienced. Why? Why would you? I've had a con tell me, well, no matter what happens, if you pitch a panel, you, the person pitching it, gets the badge for the weekend. Everybody else has to buy a badge. I'm like, nah, reject, because that makes no sense.
No, because
what are you losing? You're not, because you're not at a size that the fire marshal is going to shut you down. And if you are at the size that the fire marshal is going to shut you down, you're making your money off of the vendors and everything else that goes on during that con.
Well, and the thing is, if that person's coming in, and especially if it's not like in their, like right in their backyard, they're going to get a hotel room. And that hotel room, because this is the little known fact about if you don't do hotel contract negotiations for events, and I've done them, is that you book rooms so that you get space, meeting space for free.
Yeah.
That's how that works. You either book food or you book rooms. And the combination of the two can help you get a lot of stuff free, which lowers the overall price of the con.
Because they don't make money on the room. I mean, on the meeting space. They make money on the food or the hotel space.
Right. So they want people to come in and get a room and stay and eat at the hotel because you're already there. That's what's going to make them money. So they say, hey, if you sell 300 rooms, you get the meeting space for free, or however many rooms it is. You also usually get a few rooms for free in there. You might get a hospitality suite, which is included in people booking rooms at the hotel. You may get rooms for directors or for the lead staff members. Those could be included in that contract. So it behooves you to get people to come and stay at the hotel and eat. And yes, as Venture just said, and especially the alcohol people will buy from their bars. 100%.
Yeah, and mostly every vendor has to pay a vendor fee.
Yes.
I can guarantee you in most hotels, just by the way I've worked with hotels, in most hotels, if you're selling food or alcohol, you pay a different price, which is more, or a percentage of the sales plus the rental space. And so there's that. It's
just
take care of your creators. That's I'm not asking you to give me a free room. That'd be nice, but I'm not. I mean, that costs you money,
right?
Saying here's your 3x5 card that we printed off a printer that just has our logo on it. That costs you almost nothing.
Almost nothing, and make sure, take care of your panel, your people that are your creators, and then make sure that you're providing the right experience for your attendees. So by that I mean, I want signage. Oh my gosh, I want signage.
Yes. Don't rely on your app. Don't rely on the book. No. You have to put signs out.
You have to. And I mean, that's just for everything. Like right now, the Honors College is running a series of honors drop-ins where students come in to meet faculty and peer mentors and ask questions. And I've been asked some really hard questions lately. So, but one of the rooms is someplace that does not exist on the sign. Like it doesn't say, hey, room K is around the corner. On the sign, it says through J is down this hall. It doesn't mention K. So they were like searching for this room that they had to follow signs that had been taped up that said, hey, K is down here. Signage. Super important.
Somebody told me one time, and it's probably a quote from somebody else, that communication is the burden of communication is on the person that needs it the most. So if I need you to understand something, the burden's on me to
Oh,
really do everything I can to get you to understand it. If
okay.
you need to understand something, is really the burden's on you to pull it out, ask the questions, those kind of
Right.
things. And in this case, the signage, I it's flashed in my mind. I saw it with Joe. It was at the con, but it had nothing to do with the con. But I pointed it out anyway. I was like, oh, this place wants you to know where they are because every 3 feet there's a nice little fun sign in the ground that says, "Hey, Taco Bell is this way. Hey, really seriously, we're over here." And it just is like follow the paper road around to where it was, right? Conjuration is pretty good about that because the well, new to them. I didn't know any difference till you or Shannon said something, but they were in a newer space last year. Might have been the second year, might have been the first year. It don't matter. But they obviously it's different than what they were used to.
Yes.
So they're putting up signs and guides and if you just paid attention and looked around, you would easily find at least a sign saying it's off of this way. And that's important. I've been to cons that it just had the numbers on the wall.
Yeah.
And that was it. And it's
And-
like nobody, and the doors are shut. So nobody knows, is something going on in there?
Right.
Is it not
Wha-
going on in
what's
there? Am I
in
supposed
here?
to be there?
What am I looking if I'm
yeah.
just like roaming, looking for something to do? Throw me a bone.
Yeah. I don't have the money to do it. I want to go full Borderlands on our digital media track, which is big neon signs over the doors like, it's it here.
Here,
Big neon
here.
signs like, come around here for the entrance. It's just over the top, funny. The way Borderlands does that sometimes.
We could definitely use an entrance sign. We may have. I think we're going to have to start having line signs.
That I think we are going to have to do. And honestly, side note, for anybody listening, because Tyra is going to say she'll do it, but she gets busy and she has a lot on her plate. In
It
fact,
does.
I think Tyra is one of those people who's gone to Golden Corral. She filled her plate, said, "I can't eat all that," and then went and got a whole nother empty plate to try to get something different and filled that plate too. And that's her in social media. So
So what am I needing to do that I haven't done?
we can submit, not you. I need
okay.
somebody else to help you with it.
I do.
But if you can knock it out easily and quickly, yes, we can order all kind of signage from the Dragon Con signage department that would
Oh.
say line for Galleria 6 starts here, line for
Mm.
Galleria 7 starts there, that kind of thing.
Okay, cause let's work on that. That's a
And it
cause
doesn't
of
have to be super graphical. It can literally just say those words. And
Can I
can
use
submit
our
it to 'em.
logo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying it didn't take a lot of work. It didn't have to be super special.
No, we can
And
just.
Canvas,
plop.
they love our portal stuff, which kind of works, kind of doesn't. But the game portal. So we had the signs last year where the dragon's going in through one, and so that's
Oh,
the entrance,
yes.
and then
So
yeah.
cute. So cute.
because it's cool if you don't know what the game is. If you do know what the game is, like, oh my god, that's Portal, and that's really cool. Yeah. So
I
I designed that one, but that's all right.
Oh, we can we should use more portals, but we will figure something out because we did find out this year that we needed more signage,
Yeah.
and that's an important thing. So, I think info desk. Oh,
Yeah.
info desk
Yeah.
people. So that's the thing I love. Like Conjuration Stellar Fest, I know exactly where the information desk is. It's right when you're walking into the con area.
Mhm.
It's great. Dragon Con is very good about having
Ooh.
one in every hotel. And staffing them, which is also awesome.
So with signage and communication for new guests and or
Mhm.
new panelists, which is what I was a couple years ago at Conjuration, don't assume they know the layout or the verbiage.
Yes.
Because I walked in and there was it was Conjuration, and you go right in that front door and there's the get your tickets here thing. So
Right.
I walk up to them like, hey, I'm a presenter, panelist, whatever. I know I'm supposed to meet Regina and get my badge. Where that? Oh, it's in the fishbowl. And then they went on to the next person and went, I guess I'll walk around and figure that out. And I did because it's a small hotel. I just
It's a
kept
small
walking
hotel.
on, oh, that's the fishbowl. But they just kind of assumed
That you
they
knew
said
what you were doing.
fishbowl. Now, once you've been there one time, you absolutely know where the fishbowl is.
You know where the fishbowl
But
is.
don't
Charles.
assume that somebody knows. Just a little more help, right?
Well, and also I think when you pick up that package, I want a map if it's got lots of pieces. So like Pensacon is a con
Yes.
that's in multiple buildings that are not next to each other. So at least at Dragon Con, they're all on the same little 3 blocks of the map basically. Not at Pensacon. You're taking
No,
buses.
yeah.
To get to
Ubers
different
and lifts and
lifts, yeah, or trying to park your car. It's an experience. That's what I'm going to say about Pensacon. I loved Pensacon. I've gone
It
twice.
was a bit of an enjoyable experience, but it was definitely different.
Yes, it's not like any con experience you'll have in Georgia. And I needed a map. I needed a map that said, "Hey, you're in this building. Here's a map that it's built, spot number 7. Go there." So if you're complicated, I'd like a map. Thanks.
I'm going to jump to the bottom bullet point real quick because this is the easiest one to hit.
Oh, yes.
Talking about all this as a attendee, as a panelist, as whatever you're going to be a part of, even as a volunteer team, and this is the first time on site, before you go, do your research and ask others. There's tons of Discords and Reddit pages out there on every con. Of course, if you go to the Discord for DC Digital Media, we have DragonCon has its own link tree, right? The track, and it should be actually I should have it in our text here.
We have an amazing link tree.
Yep,
that still is highlighting our.
It's Linktree / DC Digital Media track. That'll take you to the free Discord, and so you can ask about any of the hotels in that Discord. You can ask, how does it work? There's so many happy people there that will jump in and help you out. Reddit, I found that pretty much every con that's ever happened in the U.S. at least, if not the world, has an r/this name of the con page.
Yep.
And you can kind of get, sometimes it's older, sometimes it's not active, and sometimes it's not super helpful, but at least you can go in and ask, what should I expect? Where would this be? Where would that be? Or you can do what I like to do, Tyra, which is I will show up sometimes a day early, at least at minimum a couple of hours before my panel is supposed to happen, so I can go figure it out, get my badge, walk the floor, find out where my rooms are going to be, so I can figure out, because that's another thing that we don't consider. I mean, I never considered it when I booked you the first time on the digital media track of where you might be, and you had to come hustling from like the Hyatt or something all the way down.
I have hustled from the Peachtree, from the Westin down to us.
Yeah. And you need to know that because
you do.
We had a situation a couple of years ago, with a volunteer and wanting to be on a panel and this and that, other cool. And it was a little late in the season when I finally started getting words like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but that person's in a wheelchair and they're in the Westin and they're going to need some help." I'm like, it's not me. I can't do this, but I almost want to go to the panelists. That's a you problem, because that's absolutely a you problem. You asked her to be on it. Y'all should be chipping in and figuring it out.
Right.
What I did was, let me work with the other team and see what we can do. And I personally ended up going, and she's lovely, lovely person and great to talk to. She's very happy that I helped her, and I had fun with it, giving her grief. Well, I was pushing her back uphill because I didn't know about the habit trail or exactly where it connected then. So I was pushing her uphill. I stopped at one point. I'm like, "All right, tag out. It's time for you to push. I'm tired." But you step up. But the next year, I said, "Hey, I really need you guys to figure out how to. I'll work with you on the schedule to make it easier for you.
Right.
But I don't have the time to go do that. I did it because I felt like it's important to the show, and I felt like it's important to make every way possible for everybody to be part of the content, and then hold them accountable the next time. But yeah, you might want to know that. You need to know if you have any kind of talking about Pensacon, Tyra.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great house. We're very close to it that we rented, and we didn't know. And so when we go, "Hey, let's go walk the con floor," it was like a legit almost half a mile from where you parked to the front of the convention, because for security, they locked out all the convention parking. And so you had to park off site and then walk across the convention parking to the front door. Then you got to walk the 3 floors of the vendor hall and everything else I had going. I had an okay knees at the time, and I still was over it. I think you were definitely having some, don't want you to get into have issues every day. I think this was actually you were having an issue with your knee or something.
Oh yeah, no.
Anyway, and we're like, yeah, no, I'll wait here for the 45 minutes. I'll walk out there, get the car, and drive up and pick you up in the lift section because we didn't know. And that's the kind of thing that we could have done some research.
Well, and I'm much better now, but like they were not up on ADA accommodations either. Like
Yeah.
there was no way for me to get out of the bottom pit without having to climb tons of stairs. And I knew there was an
Yeah.
elevator and I knew where it was. And I knew that they should be able to let me get someplace to sit down. And I had words.
Mhm.
Not going to lie. I had words. So you really have to, first off, advocate for yourself, but B, know your limitations. So, like at Pensacon, I know that I am going to probably be driving my car to get to the next space because there's waiting for the bus that's packed and crowded and standing on the bus, which let's face it, Tyra's not agile. I'm just saying. I'm hanging on for dear life on the MARTA train or at the airport train. So I know that I'm going to have to do that. I don't expect anybody to do it for me. I do expect that accommodations will be made. So if I need an elevator, I should be able to go, hey, I need an elevator. How can I get to one? Because public buildings are going to have that. It's just a matter of them getting,
Yeah.
allowed to do that. So, yeah, definitely know and advocate for yourself. Know what you're capable of doing. Thankfully, I'm perfectly capable because I know the habit trails at Dragon Con, but lots of people don't. Like Charles, for instance.
I knew at the top of the parking deck you could go to the food court. What I had to learn was the extra parts of how the food court connects almost literally, not quite. You still have to go outside just a little bit, but right there to the Westin. I was just you're reacting in a moment, and then when I dropped her off, that's when I took the time to figure it out.
And then you kind of
And then I got it.
you clued in.
'Cause I think I had to get her another time that weekend, and Aaron went with me because I had blisters at the time and I was hurting. But yeah, we did the habit trail and it was much better. But yes, you walk. I always go walk the floor. I find the bathrooms. I find places. I scout for if I need to crash out for a little bit, not sleep or whatever, but just kind of get away.
Chill.
Is there like a corner I can sit down in, or where would that be? Where's the food? And then know where your panels are.
Know where your panels are.
Stellar Fest, fairly easy.
Right.
Walk one into the building, next into the building, you've done 5 minutes.
Right.
It's a nice small, I mean, I would actually not call it small. It's a nice contained hotel situation to where, and then they have signs everywhere. And then you go to the room and go, where's the Emerald Forest? There's a nice big Emerald Forest sign right there. Where's the Crystal Caves? There's that. Okay. So even, because this is just logistics, even in the ones where the room is around the corner and down the hill, as long as you have signage, you'll find it. And I can honestly say, I have never had a bad panel at a con, no matter what the size is, as long as they had some signage and then a way for people to find out what the F is in that room.
Right. I mean, again, communication, it goes back to that. Having available methods for people to find out what is going on. So I like a printed one or something that we can look at or get download from online. And an app is awesome. I love an app. Apps can be great. I love on Dragon Con's app. I can actually say, I'm here. I need to get there. How do I do that? And it will show me. But as a panelist, you should be doing those things. You should be making sure, even if nobody tells you, where are the rooms. Find the bathrooms because not all bathrooms are equal.
Find as many bathrooms as you can because lines get long.
It's true. And if you're at Dragon Con, just give up on the ones on our floor. Ladies, there are 3 stalls. Go someplace else.
Yeah, that's such old construction. I don't even understand because there's
it's so bad.
For the guys, we have a little bit more space because the urinals, but I think there's only 3 stalls for the guys as well. And there's like 3 or 4 urinals, but I mean, guys are usually in and out fast because you have options. But yeah, it's
true. If you're a woman, go upstairs because you're not going to have room. It's horrible. That's the only thing I would complain about where we are, besides the barbecue smell some days. But the biggest thing is the ladies' room is horrible. It's just too small. into Tenny for all these rooms because there's like multiple track rooms there with hundreds of people coming in and out.
I have absolutely in the downtimes, right? There's a guy's bathroom right next to girls, and you walk past the ladies in line, and I went to the guy's bathroom and I came out. I was like, look, for anybody who identifies as needing to pee, this bathroom's open. There you go. And just have a guard, let them know there's women in there because honestly, there's no reason for you to stand in line when there's nobody else in there.
Right.
And I think they kind of took that banner up for a little bit. Now, when it's everybody's let out and there's not a whole lot you can do when there's multiple lines, but yeah, do what you got to do.
I have been at many concerts where we have said, we're sorry, but we're invading.
A lot of cons, including, I don't know if it was a con or if it was the Civic Center, but the one I went to in Chattanooga, they said these are basically unisex bathrooms. Now, they weren't used that way. Because I think it was a con. Because I think the convention center said it is male and female, but they said, hey, these are unisex. Like I've been to other cons that said that. There were so many, it was never an issue because there wasn't that many people there. But it was not an issue. Because like, well, I don't care if they're unisex or not. I do not care if I walk in and there's all people in this bathroom.
Right.
I'm naturally, after 4 to 8 years, I'm programmed to look for the guy's bathroom and go in, or a family style one which shows everybody on it.
Right.
I've only been to, I think Dragon Con. Oh no. Dragon Con's so big and so spread out that there could be some bad issues with unisex bathrooms, unfortunately, I think. But that's not here to there to talk about, but I think they could benefit from it, but also I can see the liability and some of the things that people do at 3 a.m. is not
true.
Ideal.
I mean, and depending upon what state you're in, there are laws in terms of particularly transgender guests.
I know, especially North Carolina.
Yeah, and Georgia has that too. We just don't. I don't think we care too much at Dragon Con. It's like,
well, I know at 221B, which is a more controlled con,
right.
They put up signs saying we're gonna make these unisex bathrooms.
Yes.
Okay,
Love
and so that's okay. So let's flip into something else.
Okay.
With conventions,
we're gonna flip now.
The facilities, and just from a host and panelist presenter perspective, I need you to understand this: the facilities and the local governments set up all kind of rules that you may or may not ever hear about.
Mm-hmm.
And one great example was coming out of COVID. At the time, we couldn't talk about it. Now it's obviously history; it doesn't matter. But we couldn't talk about what the actual number was that the city of Atlanta, capped us at. But they gave us a hard cap.
They gave you a hard cap
coming out, and they said, and you have to have masks, and you have to have sanitizers, and you have to they have to have shots, or they have to get the blah 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 the test. I mean, that was not a Dragon Con thing. That was a city of Atlanta being safe thing. And a lot of people did kind of fuss about it that year, but we had to go through a lot of extra work with taking, they had little mic condoms.
Remember they had the mic condoms.
Yeah. And we'd have to take those off, wipe, put new ones on. We don't do that now. I mean, I guess some tracks might still, but we don't have to do that now. We, as presenters, we had to have clear masks on. And then I think the second year, they're like, okay, we're backing it off a little bit because the city backed off.
Yeah,
so on and so forth. Yeah, and you got more into it. But that's something else. And the way either a venue or the city or both works with a con can directly affect how that con works.
Oh, absolutely. And sometimes, like, let's say ownership changes.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your event planned and the ownership changes while you're before the event happens, but you've got your contracts in place and now they're wanting to come back and change things, or they've changed things, or they're doing renovations and closing sections. So you just never know what's going to happen. So always make the assumption that it probably is not the con's fault.
Yeah.
Now
stuff like signage and
apps is the con's fault.
Absolutely. But yeah, we've suffered from a lack of air conditioning for as long as I've been director until last year. It's not the con's fault, and to a point, it's not the hotel's fault because it's such a big. I'm with you. I saw your face. I think they should do a better job knowing that we're coming in. 100,000%.
They should close that big door anyway.
They should fix it. It's broken. It's been broken for 2 years.
What?
They're not doing it. Yeah. Because I know enough about it to go start unhooking chains and start doing it myself. It's broken. But yes, they should inspect it more. They should do more, but it's been always one thing after another because we're the only ones apparently that during the event we're consistently communicating with the departments in the hotels
Oh
that
my
we need to
gosh.
communicate with. I've been to other ones where all they want to do is like, we don't have enough water. Did you call somebody? Well, actually, it turns out you only paid for like a day of water and you used it up in half a day. You know, those kind of things happen. They don't want to admit that, but that happens
It's
sometimes.
true.
But with us, we're always communicating. So I'm like, hey, it's hot as blazes up in here. Somebody from the hotel will show up within 30 minutes to figure out what the problem is.
Right.
And one year they literally pulled out all I can picture is like a submarine on the movies, the submarine hatch that turns. They pulled out that big of a wheel out of the roof and went, you shouldn't be pulling parts out like that, dude. What are you doing? He's like, yeah, this is what's busted. And it's Labor Day weekend. We will not be able to get parts till Tuesday. I'm like, son of a bitch. It was a bad day. And yeah,
That's
parts
awesome.
break. But yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It was, he handed it to me. It's like, one, why is this up in the roof? Two, why is it in my hands now? This is not good, dude.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
So the lesson here is bring a blanket and bring a fan.
Yes. And bring forgiveness and patience and grace.
Yes, always.
Because Mel Robbins says it best in saying, let them. Somebody gets a little cranky. Maybe they cut you in line a little bit, depending on the situation. I'm saying there's some things we let them. And then other things we go calmly and unemotionally. Hey, this dude just stepped in line and everybody knows that I need some security to take care of this. And you let security let them
Yes.
out.
Let them out.
But yeah, it's do what you got to do for yourself. Okay, so miraculously, Phantom Face Off has worked at every venue I've ever been to. And I say miraculously because it relies on a whole lot of things that I cannot control. Cell signal or internet. You have to have that or this game is not going to work.
Oh, that is true. Yes.
Then I need a projector and a screen. I'm not sure, even if I brought my much higher end projector to this last con, if it would have worked. Because there's so much light. Now, my projector is better, but if I take it out in the middle of the day, it's still light on the screen. It's not a production projector, which is what you need for daylight. You need like a 3,000, no, I think I said that wrong, 30,000 lumen projector. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
They're huge. They're called Christie's, like the name Christie. And I
I know
worked,
that.
and it takes two people to lift. I mean, they're heavy, they're huge, they're massive, but you could practically point it at the sun and you're still going to see whatever it's projecting.
Nice.
So I'm not sure that
That's a lot.
mine would have worked, but I went in and I tested it and I knew early on this probably isn't going to go well with the screen.
Oh.
And I adapted because I'm more worried about internet than anything. But until this last weekend, it has actually worked flawlessly in every random location I went to. And I'm still crazy enough to build a thing that I have to rely on. And I'll tell you this, Chattanooga loves their internet. There's free high-speed internet in that convention center.
Nice. 'Cause
Yeah.
let's face it, the hotels throttle.
Oh God, yeah.
Let's just say it.
Yeah, they're absolutely. They 1,000%. They throttle you as a guest if you're not a member.
Yep.
Even as a member, there's a little small print they can throttle. But I can tell you from working at the Omni in Atlanta as an AV technician, that's the office that handles the internet for the convention centers.
Right.
There's a different IT office inside the hotel because usually AV and hotel are different. They're contracted. Yeah, it was nothing for us to go, "Brrr, here's 1,000 download. But if you didn't pay for it, if you only bought the package that said you can have 5 megabytes down and you can have 100 people on this, which will slow 5 megabytes down to
Oh
nothing,
my God, nothing.
then they get mad. But it gets charged. I'm not even getting to all the charges, but understand that. Well, the convention should have had this going on. No, the convention should have communicated how that works and if it would be available or not. So I will tell you flat out, there is no internet for Dragon Con.
Oh, right. No.
Now, special needs like the digital media track, which maybe that's part. Maybe our dragon should have a helmet on it as a special needs dragon. We absolutely, but it is I could make up a price because they don't tell me what the price is, but I know
Right.
it's a god awful, make you want to throw up price
We are very
on
blessed.
with that. Yes.
Yes. And for us to be able to do 2 panels streaming is awesome. But it's
Yeah.
not cheap. And that allows us to be able to have a bigger audience overall, because people can't attend. But a lot of cons are not going to have that
The
ability.
budget. I mean,
Charles is right. When he submits Fandom Face Off, he has to tell them, "Hey, I got to have internet, people."
and that I asked for, and I asked for if I need to bring my projector, and I have hotspot on my phone. I've had to do that maybe once.
Right?
I think it was the first time I ever did the show. But for the most part, cell signals are so much better now
Yes.
that it has just not been an issue, and I'm grateful for that. And that takes me to I think what our last point should be:
Mm-hmm.
be grateful
Yes.
as an attendee, as a presenter, as a host, as a moderator, as a volunteer, as somebody running the show, if you will. I mean, I still don't count myself as running the show at DragonCon. I do a little bit of leadership here in our world, but it's such a bigger picture.
Oh my God, it's huge.
But DragonCon, man, if there's one thing that everybody should know that is true about Rachel and Mandy and the team that runs DragonCon, is they are fans first. Number one, they absolutely,
Yeah.
when they get to announce somebody, a couple years ago, they announced David Tennant, and they fangirled out for a second with everybody else in the room. They're
That's
truly
awesome.
fans, but they're truly grateful for everybody who comes to the con, for all the volunteers, for the directors. They are truly grateful for everything and every experience, and that just it vibes throughout the whole entire thing. Even though, yes, there have definitely been people who have negative experiences and bad experiences, and there's times when all of us have to step up and be the bad cop
Right.
in the situation. We're also grateful for that opportunity. And the first time I played a room at Cheddacon,
Mm-hmm.
we did Wise and Nerdy.
That's right.
And I'd actually got to interview Mary Robinette Cole the night before, so that had a decent audience, but that was her audience. When we did Wise and Nerdy, we had 6 people show up, 5 people, and it just so happened Regina was working that as well with the content. And as we're coming out of the room, she's like, "So, how was it? Good show?" And just naturally, both Joe and I were like, "Yeah, no, it was great. We had some people show up, and we didn't say the number." Because
Right.
it wasn't about, it had some, they participated. They
They had a good
they were
time.
it was great. And she says, "Would y'all do it again?" We was like, "Absolutely." I think the next year we had like 8 people in the room, but it was playing the 2 or 3 people. Be grateful.
Yeah.
First panel at Atlanta Comic-Con that I got. It was myself, Bobby Blackwolf, who's not famous, but he's fairly
He's
well known
Bobby.
in Atlanta, and he's
He's
getting
been-
up there. And a name that a lot of the world knows now that I just freaking blanked on. Roberto Blake.
There we go.
Roberto Blake. He is a renowned speaker now for content creation. He's done YouTube master classes. He's gotten the awards from YouTube, those golden plaques or whatever for all the views, blah, 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 blah. I happened to be fortunate enough to catch him on the come up, and we became friends. And he lives here in Atlanta. And now that he's so busy, like we saw each other at VidCon, I guess that's last year now at some point, whatever. And that's the first time we'd seen each other in like a year. And we talked for about 5 minutes. But that's how his life is and my life is. We're just busy. So Atlanta Comic Con, I just say all that to say this. He was not super famous then, but he was getting there. It's me, Bobby Blackwolf, and Roberto Blake doing a panel on building a badass clubhouse, how to make digital
nice.
media
Community.
communities. Yeah. And for whatever reason, the con went, all right, that's going to be a 10 p.m. panel. We're like, all of us were like, okay, whatever. And that's the first year the con was here. There's a different company that owns it now than then. But then we're at about 7:30. I'm like, me and Bobby were on the couch just talking about the panel and getting ready and stuff. And we started looking around like, Bobby, is it me or is it getting empty in here? He goes, oh yeah, they closed the vendor hall at 7. I went, I'm sorry, what?
Oh.
Our panel's not till 10. What do you mean they close it at 7? He's like, yeah, that's just because he did his research and
Right, he knew.
you had possibly some of the 3 best people to tell you how to build digital communities sitting on the edge of a stage because nobody was there because we had 2 people show up.
Oh,
And then I forced 3 other people to show up, and that's a longer story. But we gave the best panel and advice we could. And I don't know if any of those people realize you just got a master class from who would become a true master of digital media.
right.
And you didn't realize and that happens. But me, Bobby, and Roberto, we're all happy. We're all connected with each other. We're like, hey, we're all professionals because we do what we got. We'll do it for one person.
Right.
And that's what keeps moving us forward. Be grateful. What was the time that you had something, Tyra, either was super great or what somebody might have been, oh, that was crap, but you were grateful for it?
And I've had panels where we've had very few people show up, and you just have to realize the universe is putting you where you need to be at that time. And that's great. I've had panels where I've had people that I wanted to shoot, but didn't because I'm graceful and kind. And knowing how to deal with that is super important. So kind of have in your head, what am I going to do if I have a situation? I've been to cons where I talk about something called energy vampires, where they just like suck all the life out of you. And
there's studies on that, yeah.
Yes, and there's a con we went to recently that there was somebody who I realized was just depleting my energy. And I really thought about, okay, how am I going to handle that?
I'm sorry. Okay, so that's a reference from What We Do in the Shadows, and there's a literal energy vampire that he's just so. I mean, I can't even do his character. He's just so miserable, and he's talking to you, and you see him pulling the energy out of the person.
It.
Yeah. Good call, Boo. That's a good one. Sorry, carry on.
No, it's good. And I felt it in the dealer's room when I ran into this person, and I went, "Oh, this is not good. I'm on 2 panels with this person."
Oh, yeah.
So I first off bought some kyanite earrings, which is supposed to help dispel energy and bubble you a little bit. So if you know stone energy and you believe in it, they help with that. I bought those.
I know stoned energy, and I believe in it.
Yes, you probably do. And I made a point of not sitting next to this person. So when we were on panels together, I made sure that we had a buffer. And I warned the other person who I knew was energy sensitive that, by the way, I have experienced this with this person. Just be aware. And once you're aware, it's a little bit easier to make the blood sucking energy stop. But it was horrible. Like I literally ran into them in the dealer's room, and all of a sudden I couldn't hardly move. It was that bad. And so I had to get a game plan. You know, what am I going to do when this person is in the same room with me and on the same panel and I know how they behave? So yeah, that was fun. Not going to hopefully do that again.
Yeah.
Probably will have to.
I did say it was the last one, but then you brought up something. So the actual last question I have is, when do you say something and when do you just keep it to yourself and move on and move out?
That's a good point. I haven't said anything to this person. I have talked to other people about it to make sure that it wasn't just me, and it wasn't. But in general, if it's somebody I'm just going to see once, let it go. Unless they've done something egregious, like been racist or homophobic or something that just cannot pass, you know, that you just cannot let stay.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. That
doesn't work.
Things like,
but if it's somebody who I'm not going to have to deal with again, then I'm going to just let it pass. Now, this person I'm going to have to deal with again, and I haven't figured out the answer to that question.
Sure. And there's other situations. So like with the con that I just went to, my wife said, "Are you going to say something to him? Because I think you should. I mean, that's kind of what you do." And I'm like, honestly, I'm still figuring that world out. I never want to be that, because there's just been some stuff in my past that I'm starting to dig up and feel out. And hello, Ana Puerta says hi, Tara. But it's I can't put my finger on an exact story, but I know there's a time when diva's the word, right? Or somebody comes into a situation and they diva this and they blah blah blah, no grace, no gratitude. And that's honestly real definition of a diva is lack of gratitude. And so
Oh,
I'm
that's
trying
a
to
good way.
navigate. I just came across that in my mind. I'm thinking of some divas. I'm like, oh, the common factor was they were ungrateful for what they had and what there was there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to navigate that. So with that specific con, she's are you going to say something that's like, honestly, okay, if they send a survey, which some cons do, then yes, because you asked, I will give you my honest
That
answer.
works.
But otherwise, I see so much of there's flaws everywhere in the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm only seeing the big picture from where I'm standing. So I'm not standing where they're standing to see a different picture and maybe what they're going to do next year or so on and so forth. So my feedback may just be more negativity and maybe whatever. I don't know.
Well, and they may already know their shortcomings. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
when something goes wrong and you know it's going wrong, and then everybody tells you it's going wrong, you're like, yeah, we know. We're trying to fix it.
Yeah.
This is the best we could do. And you don't know where that situation is.
Yeah.
So.
And I have found in certain areas to address it, like on a show like this, or into like a state of, well, I don't want to use that word because that was recently bad. When I address the community of the digital media track, say, hey, here's some things that I've picked up from other people that I wish you wouldn't do. That kind of thing I will do. And then if it's in the interest of building, so that first year with Atlanta Comic-Con, I talked about some of the issues, but I developed a relationship with the person who was running it at the time. And I literally talked my way into that job. So I really developed a relationship with her of proving myself as a professional.
Right.
So afterwards, I emailed her and said, hey, because I think you've got great potential and I don't know everything you went through, but I can see that you're on a very small team and tight budget. Here's what I observed. Here's at least the solutions I can bring for some of this stuff. And most of it was moderation with the celebrities and handling all that and bringing even a team in at one point. You know, Tony was one, and then I was starting to bring in some other people, blah, blah, blah. I was like, and it does you no good to have panels past 7 p.m. because everybody leaves. So, in fact, we got kicked out by the State Patrol at midnight because there was one.
Did you really?
There's one that started at 11:30. That was an adult after dark kind of panel.
Right.
And this was again first year, so nobody knew, and maybe even the con didn't know. Who knows?
That's true.
Who knows?
It could be.
But that's how I learned the hard way. The Georgia International Convention Center closes at midnight. Hard stop.
Which
By
is
hard
why-
stop, GSP shows up with their hats and goes, "Hey, you guys got to get out of this room. We're closing the building."
And this is why Dragon Con will not be there.
Oh yeah, no, they can't. They can't be shut down.
No, we don't. We're not that kind of con people.
Yeah.
We're 24/7. By the way, hi Anna. Okay.
And as a director, I could say, bringing a solution or bringing a problem that I said, this is my experience.
Right.
That kind of phrasing helps a lot. And not just go, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Facts help.
Yes,
And
facts
you can, I get that we're humans. You can vent some, but make sure even if you don't feel like you vented, bullet point the issues that you think need to be addressed. And if you have a solution, that's even better.
Oh yeah.
You know,
and vent when you're not, like, vent before you get there. Like, get all of that out of your system. Get it out of your body. Get it out so that you're calmer. You've processed it, and you can be kind when you're talking to people instead of wanting to, not be kind, shall we say.
Yeah. And be as transparent as you can be from the top down.
Yes.
And DragonCon again does a great job at that, in my opinion. I've been enabled to do that as well. Like the first year I addressed things emotionally because people just kept punching. So unintentionally, I told them the hard way, leave me the F alone for 3 weeks after the con.
Yeah.
You know, because because some of the clients were so stupid. And I'm not even going to get into them, but I finally just had it.
Still feeling it.
Yeah, a little bit. But I did an emotional, hey, doofuses, bam, 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 bam. And none of what I said was wrong. Everything was factual. And it didn't run off any of the core that stayed and grew. It ran off it shook off some of the dirt. It was not my best moment. I would have liked to have handled it like I handle things now.
Right.
but I'm transparent up front. I don't say we don't do this. I go, I'm one person. I'm not going to, I don't have time to email you. I have a day job too. So
Right.
here's the systems we put up, and go ask. Nobody waits for Joe or Scott or somebody to jump in. If somebody asks a question in that Discord, I've seen so many people jump in, and Bobby especially, he'll really, if
Bobby's
something's kind of
great.
misstated, Bobby will gently correct, say, no, you're kind of right. Blah, blah, blah. So
But not
many
right.
good layers.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of great people. So I think if we're wrapping this
Yep.
up, because I'm going to pull us in now, I think what we discussed was communication is key.
Yes.
Get yourself a plan.
Yep.
Do your research, both as a host and as a participant. Find the bathrooms
Yeah.
and where your panels are. And for me, I would say know your limits. Like,
Ooh, yeah.
know your limits and know when you're getting ready to hit one. So like I had something at a panel that happened physically to me, and I knew that I had to leave as soon as that panel was over. And I facilitated that. I had some good friends that helped me make that possible. So know your limits and set your boundaries. What would be your final parting piece of rock god of podcasting advice?
That's what she said. Yeah, I mean, everything you just said.
I love that.
I mean, that's it. Oh, take your ego out of it.
Yeah.
You're there for the show. Every panel I do is about what I believe I'm adding to the content or the quality of the show that we're putting on to feed the audience. That's from panelists, that's from hosts, moderators, game show hosts as myself, directors. One of the things that I believe I shine with, and why digital media went from a kind of smaller, pushed in the corner track to being one of the shining gems of DragonCon, in my opinion, is it's not about me. It's always about the show. And it's always about what's best for the audience, what's best for the con as a whole, what they're trying to achieve. So when you talk about making plans, I keep hearing goals. Plans are how do we get to that goal? But if you don't have your goal set of what you're trying to do, you won't get there. So my goal with everything that I do with the panels and the shows that I present is I want to entertain and educate the audience. I want them to walk away with an experience that they enjoyed, and possibly secondarily, they follow me in my stuff rises. But first off is you can forget who I am, but I changed your life by giving something you wanted or needed.
Absolutely. And be kind.
Always.
Just start with kindness and it will be better.
That, I guess that's time for, no. Where can we find you and your on-time newsletter?
I know. I was so proud of myself. So I'm at tyraburton.com. You can go there because I believe you should own your home on the internet. And you can also go to Linktree, whatever it is, Tyra Burton. I'm always Tyra Burton except
That's
for
exactly
on
what
Twitter.
it is. Linktree/Tyra Burton.
It is.
Yeah.
So the only place I'm not Tyra Burton is X, and really I'm just there for the Swifties and the Chiefties. So don't find me there. I don't say a lot, but everywhere else I'm Tyra Burton. So you can find me and grab my newsletter. It's also up on Patreon right now, but you can go to sendfox/Tyra Burton and sign up because at the end of every month, at least, I will send you some goodies to talk about. So I do kind of like a reflection thing, and I will also give you a social media tip. This last one was on Threads, and you can go to my Patreon because I now have one. That's completely free, and you can see my newsletter there.
And that's also Tyra Burton.
Of course, because God forbid any other Tyra Burton tries, because they're going to lose. I'm going to grab it before they do.
Yeah. Now, I Charles McFall is my site. I've done a lot of updates.
And he's done
to it.
some updates.
Linktree is RGOP42, and I focus on that one because it's way easier for me to get in and make quick updates on that.
It's
than
true.
My other
It's
stuff,
true.
but Charles McFall, I'm happy with it now. It's not a weight around my neck anymore.
You've done some improvements, sir.
And then no, that's your Patreon. My newsletter is sendfox.com/RGOP42, and I don't know what to do with it. Not in the sense of I don't know what I'm doing, but in the sense of the real check-in is there's a lot of days that I just metaphysically feel like I can't breathe. And that squashes all of my creativity. And all I want to do, if I do a newsletter, is just go, this is what I'm dealing, and drag through emotions. And that might be okay for one newsletter. I'm honestly a little wary that it'll become this all poor, pitiful, dear diary me thing. And it's hard to even do that when you don't feel like doing anything. So I am a little pissed off at myself for not making the end of February. But I will try Thursday, perhaps, maybe. I'm on an ambulance tomorrow, so we'll see. But I will try to knock one out.
You can do it.
And I made sure to take pictures and do things specifically for the newsletter when I went to Chattanooga that last weekend. So I have stuff. I just need to
some stuff. And sometimes, like, I talk about life in mind. That's my first section, is kind of like, here's Tyra's reflections on life and what we're doing. And that's all because of a lady I used to read I still read her newsletter, Alexander Stoddard. So first you get Tyra's life reflections, and then you can get some information about Threads.
Yeah, I dig it. All right. Well, on that happy note,
we love all of you. Please
notes.
Stay safe, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, as a reminder, we record this every 2 weeks now, and we'll be back March 17th. Where there's a note that says new equipment, getting out of our comfort zones.
Yes. And you know what I think we should do? Creating content while traveling.
Oh, that's a new adventure for both of us. So tune in 2 weeks. Until then, tell all your friends you're missing out. You're just being awesome alone.
No fun there.
Surf the chaos. Enjoy the ride.